Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the newest installment in the Predator franchise, Prey. Before we get started, please consider subscribing if you want to see more film related content. I have several videos planned including more reviews, some film rankings, and actor/director career breakdowns. With that over with, let's get into the review. Prey is the fifth installment in the Predator franchise. The first film, Predator, was great, however Predator 2 was bad, Predators was bad, and The Predator was shit. Prey is actually the only other Predator movie worth watching. This film was released straight to Hulu, which seems so odd to me since a Predator movie I think should always be seen on the big screen. It's not even as if it wouldn't have done well at the box office. It was incredibly popular and it achieved the largest movie premiere in streaming history. This film looks beautiful, so it's such a massive shame that it wasn't seen in cinemas. This film is set 300 years before the original movie and is set on the Great Plains of now United States of America. It follows Naru, a member of the Comanche tribe, and is a sort of coming-of-age story in which Naru and some of her fellow Comanches go through sort of a rite of passage tradition to become an established warrior. Throughout the film, Naru encounters a much more skillful hunter, a predator. This is such an exciting and unique idea and is way more interesting than the other three sequels. As it is set 300 years ago, there isn't any technology or guns, which immediately sets this film apart from the others. Naru has to use her wit and knowledge of the land to trick and mislead the predator, which allows her to fight in a unique and in a more imaginative way. The film was directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who has only one other feature directorial credit, that being 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane and I think it's by far the best film in the Cloverfield trilogy. How Trachtenberg builds suspense in both of these films is great, and it's a noticeable positive aspect in both of these movies. There aren't any upcoming projects in which he's in the director's chair, which is a shame because I think his filmography so far is good, and would love to see more from him. It seems like he could have a style, however this is hard to tell right now since there are only 2 films to analyse. Like I said, this film looks incredible, and it uses a fair number of practical effects, which these days is a huge positive point. Why some studios, most notably Marvel, use blue screens for the simplest of scenes which could easily be shot on location is beyond my understanding. In my opinion, CGI should be used as a tool to enhance the practical effects, not completely replace them. CGI has improved so much over the last decade, however, because it's being used exclusively, instead of a balanced mix of both CG and practical effects, it often looks way worse. Consider this scene from Black Widow, where Natasha and Yelena are conversing at a bar. This would be a super simple scene to film practically, I could do it, however, for some very strange reason, Marvel decided to create this setting digitally and sit the actors in front of a blue screen. Anyway, to get back on track, the practical effects were great in this film. Dane DeLiegro played the Predator, and it's quite refreshing to see a practical non-human character rather than an entirely CG one. As a result of filming most scenes practically, the film is immersive and looks realistic. As well as looking realistic, a lot of the scenes are stunning aesthetically. There is one scene within a burnt wooded area wherein the Predator is hunting Naru amongst a fog of ash and smoke. It looks great, and Trachtenberg's expertise at building suspense matches the atmosphere that the visuals give off perfectly. As a photographer, I love seeing good shots of the landscapes and locations within the film, and this movie includes several beautiful places. This movie isn't flawless, however, and it's not a great movie. However, it is miles above the previous installments, excluding the original. There is one scene which I don't particularly like, that being when Naru is amidst a standoff against a lion which is hunting her and her fellow Comanches. In some shots the lion looks unrealistic, and in others it looks incredible. And as you can probably guess, the less realistic looking shots use a CGI lion, these being the long shots, and the lion looks way better in the close-ups wherein they used a practical animatronic lion instead of CGI. The scene ends with Naru blacking out, and we don't get to see what happened afterwards. I just think this whole scene is a bit unnecessary and could have been cut or replaced with a more meaningful scene. The film was distinctive in that, although filmed in English, the actors came back after filming to read their lines in the Comanche language. It's the first movie in history to be entirely dubbed in Comanche. To conclude, this film is worth watching if you're a fan of the Predator franchise, or even just the original movie. It's miles better than the other 3 sequels, and works well even as a standalone movie. You can watch this with zero prior knowledge of the franchise. The situation of dropping a Predator into a historic setting seems to have worked very well here, and could be replicated in a future installment during a different time period and place in history perhaps. As this film was released straight to streaming, I'm a bit worried that we won't get a physical release of this movie on Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray. Like I said, it's visually stunning and absolutely worth watching in 4K. So, I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on Prey. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel or sharing this video with anybody that you think may enjoy it. Feel free to leave suggestions for future movie reviews in the comments section. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content.